Regulatory standards bill, everyone's favorite. Only because this is probably the number one spookiest, and we've kind of had to put it to the side because everything else has come out. A reminder that it's still going through. So there's been a bunch of changes that have happened. I don't want to look at him. Just a reminder as well, the department report prepared by the Minister of Regulations and cited in the committee's report revealed Parliament received 159,000 submissions on the bill, with 156,000 of those, or 98.7%, in opposition. Just pointing that out there. But in its current state, the passing of the Regulatory Standards Bill is on the government's fourth quarter plan, meaning it is expected to pass before the end of this year and come into effect at the start of 2026. If we're going to be a prosperous country where people have ambition and confidence to invest in the future, we must lift our game on good lawmaking, says Seymour. I was going to call him Seymour Peters. The Regulatory Standards Bill is a serious commitment to making New Zealand a grown-up country with a serious future, not somewhere where the whims of politicians can dash your future.
Oh my God.
So, you tell him. Get him, buddy.
This is going to come into effect January next year. And from what we've heard from, I think it was Tanya Waikato gave us the best sort of breakdown of it. It's a really, really seriously bad piece of legislation that will have wide effects. And assuming one-term government, we can get them out next October, fingers crossed. Hopefully, the next government can just scrap it in its entirety, but I don't know. Depends how bad this bill is, because I have heard very, very bad things about it. So
it's just that's why they can't be trusted in anything else, because what was it? 98% of submitters were against it, and you didn't listen, and you're going to do it anyway. Why would anyone trust this government ever? Like, why would you trust them? They don't listen. We've done more submissions ever than in our lives. I've said to people older than me, is this normal? Like, is this normal? Have I just become an adult? And I'm like, wow, the world's crazy or something. They're like, normal. This isn't normal.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. I mean, me and my therapist actually talk about this government way more than I'd fucking like. I mean, to be fair, they are paying for my therapy sessions, but it would be nice to talk about something else. You know, there's other stuff I have to work on. And even he says, like, he has been voting since the 80s. And this is the worst government he's ever seen, regardless of what side he supports. It's just, they're absolutely steamrolling it. But do you know what? And this is what I want us to kind of think of and hopefully push from, you know, the hopeful Labour, Greens, TPM coalition next year is, hey, look, guys, we can just do it. We don't have to sit here and go through all of these things. You know what? Maybe we should actually just go, fuck you. We'll do the things that will make your life better, even if you don't want us to. Because at this point, I am sick of seeing these right-wing governments not only make our lives worse, but then this government's just fucking speed running it. I'm like, okay, well, you're setting a new precedent. And if this is the new precedent, fuck. Give Chloe and Marama the keys, and they will show you how to run a country. But hopefully, though, we got to take that energy. We got to work it up, because they've shown us we can do it. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the climate crisis it's not even just getting, it is at existential levels of crisis. Like all of the neon signs and alerts, and they're all going off. So
yeah, can I just repeat something that you guys will have a little laugh at? I can't remember what I brought up, but the husband was leaving the house and I must have said something to him. He's like, man, I would not be surprised if in like the next 50 to 100 years we're just going to see like a full revolt. And I was just like, 50 to 100?
Yeah, I was like,
we're looking at the next like 10 years. And he's like, don't be ridiculous. And I'm like, we're
People
already
thought
like
World
we
War
covered
III
this.
memes were funny.
Yeah, we are already seeing like Nepal, Morocco, the Gen Z revolutes. Like we are seeing this across the world, and the Western countries are just sort of like getting to that state where they will see a revolt as well. I fucking hope that doesn't happen. But
My partner has a theory that people won't revolt against necessarily capitalism itself, but they'll revolt against like dictator type people like Trump, for example, because they'll just be so angry at that person, because those people are the ones that are destroying capitalism, not us. It's them, because they're the ones hoarding the wealth. So that's why it doesn't work. So that's his theory, and I think that's pretty smart.
Well,
See
yeah,
what happens.
actually, it's funny. You made me think of a video that I was hoping we might watch tonight, but I wasn't sure if we'd have time for. But it's actually talking about that directly, and about how historically capitalism, which is kind of, the fascism, capitalism we're under now, these things are generally only defeated by communism and the cycle that it currently exists historically. And whether that communism is, the details of the communism, I think, is obviously up for different conversations. But in essence, what she was talking about is how that's kind of how the history has gone. She's a person who is obsessed with reading declassified documents from the US government, kind of similar, I guess, to our OIA Afano. And she has this really awesome video that I might just even pop into the chat if people want to go have a look at it. But it's a really interesting story about just, she points out basically there is nothing the United States government would not do in order to get what they want or need. And I didn't know this, but at one point, the American government was considering assassinating someone in their own country so that they could have an excuse to try and take over Cuba. But the only reason that they didn't do it was because they decided it wasn't the most strategically advantageous move at that time. Same with the America's involvement in World War II. They only joined when it was more strategically advantageous, because also they supply a lot of the armaments for war. And it always comes back to that shit.
America's involvement in like world politics, and especially countries around the world that were heading towards more socialist, more sort of communist, but probably just socialism, good left politics that were going to overthrow shitty governments. They have their fingerprints all over it. Like there's a paper trail to show that they had involvement in a lot of those countries not being able to go more left and overthrow awful right-leaning dictatorship style governments. It's really sad. I think it's finally coming to a point where America is no longer this beautiful country that's helping the world, and like we're long past that. Like they're not the little saviors they think that they are. They're just it's fucking awful. It's
No,
really awful.
absolutely. And I think it's been a hard reality for all of us to go, oh, these people we were told were these cool guys we can look to and idolize. Turns out they're the bad guys. So now my entire sense of identity is shattering.